Rattle Patch Kids. How's it going? How we doing? Thank you for the thumbs up. Way to start my Saturday. As I get Rattle be ready. Pretty rad, right? So subscribe if you vibe. How we doing? Happy Saturday, Rattle Patch Kids. Let me introduce myself before I start my diary stories. My name is Dr. Rattle, Death of the Ego, Rebirth of the Inner Child, and my inner child superhero is Rattleby. And he just simply means a couple things that we are bone underneath this meat flesh that I believe we are renting here on the earth. And Rattleby is our permission slip. I don't know if you remember being in kindergarten or elementary school where your parents would have to sign the permission slip for you to go on the field trips. But anyway, Rattleby permission slip is to show up for yourself, make time for yourself, whatever that is. It can be artwork, it can be singing, it can be making clay, or for my brothers, it can be going to the court, going to the field, going to the golf course, going to the garage, working on a car. Or my ladies, getting your hair did, doing your nails, meditating, horseback riding, the list goes on. But basically making a sacred space where you can just be yourself. Yeah. So, and our medicine here is soul medicine, which means rattle XR drip, movement, expression, release, issues are in the tissues. What does that mean? Suppression, holding up locked up emotion in the body. And how I personally release it is moving my body unapologetically, which means no choreography. Yeah. And on this YouTube journey, I have been using other artists, which is beautiful until you keep getting copywritten. And that's scary because if you keep getting copywritten, they can shut down your YouTube channel. So I don't know if that was a sign from spirit, God, the universe, but Rattleby and I have been creating our own sound, our own vibration, and that is Rattle X2, which is the masculine, the feminine, the adult, inner child, and it's been a whirlwind. Yeah. So, as always, take what resonates, shed the rest. But I just want to check in with myself. And before I do that, how are you doing, Rattle Patch Kids? Thank you for being on this journey with us. You are seen here and you are loved as who you are. Yeah. So, happy Saturday. It's been a busy morning. We went to the dog park. We got our Jeep fixed. And I think we're going to do some thrift shopping. That's fun. And tonight, I don't know. I just had a really emotional day yesterday. And I think tonight I just want to relax. You ever get that way where you just need like to just detox your soul? And we have our cold plunge up. Let's see how cold it is. My goodness. 68 degrees. My God. Let me put my piggy wiggies in there. You see how cold it is. Woo! So cold. Oh my God. It's freezing. It means it's ready for us. But yeah, I just want to reflect my day. So right now, I'm just going to talk to myself. Oh, look at our Jeep. Oh my God, I literally have goosebumps from that water. Oh, it's so cold. Come on, Birdie. Wanna come with me? All right, so this is my man cave. There's a bumblebee right there. This is where the magic happens. Come on in. This is the ER playground. It's dark and cold. This is where I do mirror work. Let me turn some lights on. Are you with it there? All right. So this is where I show up, and my time has been all over the place. I've been really trying to wake up at 4 in the morning, and that's rough and it's hard. Part of the reason why it's difficult for me because I don't like to go to bed early, and I'm realizing more and more, dude, you need to be in bed by 9 o'clock. If you want to be up at 4 in the morning, and I've been, I don't know if any Rattle Patch Kid remembers Will and Grace, but I have been watching Will and Grace till like midnight laughing. And I think my favorite character is Karen. It's just funny because she's always drinking. Oh my God, look at the drip on the freaking mirror. And the drip is the sweat. So when I say drip, I mean sweat. And sweat can be just all of that energy leaving the body. So anyway, this is my little fort house. This is my holy grail. This is my safe haven. And then I really just admire the journey that I've been on because it did not always look like this. It first looked like this. We were at Goodwill, and back in my go-go dancer days, we would dance on a box, a tiny little box. Let me put some shoes on so I don't burn my piggies. And so I just needed to start moving my body. Come on, Brody, my little baby. Come on. And so it's right here because I want this was it was my first box. First started my journey. We would dance, Rattleby and I would dance on this, and I would fall off. And I think it's just beautiful to remind myself, look where you started. So yeah, this was our thing. We would do a little dancey dancey, little shaky, little pop, 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 pop. Birdie, stay close. Gotta watch out for the coyotes. And if you look closely, there's a hole because I would wear man heels. But anyway, yeah, I just want to reflect my day. I got triggered yesterday. I don't know if there's any Rattle Patch Kid who is not close to your parents. I'm not close to my mom. And for a very long time, I had hatred towards my mother. Now I've done so much mirror work and internal healing, I forgive her and I have compassion for her. But what I was stating earlier in my reflection video is that I haven't seen my mom since 2010. And we are in 2026. And I guess I had so much anger. Come on, Brody. It's hot out here. Come on. Come to Papa. Ah, spider. Oh my God. It's like a freaking heat stove. Ouch. Son of a bitch. Ow. Come on. So anyway, my mom, and I don't know if it was just my generation or not, but my mom, I'm 37 years old, and my mom was just in a really toxic relationship. Or maybe there's someone watching right now that can relate. Maybe it's you, or maybe you're in a toxic relationship, or you know a friend that knows a friend that's in a toxic, abusive relationship. And I always told myself, I don't believe that it's love. And I used to be obsessed with I Love Lucy, and I saw how Ricky would treat Lucy. I'm like, oh, so beautiful. And I just told myself at a very young age, I want that type of love, if it even exists. And what I can say from my own personal experience, it does. And I believe, but even with that type of love, I believe you have to love yourself. And unfortunately, my mom just doesn't love herself. And the last time I heard about my mom, she lost all of her teeth just from drugs, heavy use of drugs, and her allowing men to beat her. And it's just, it's so sad. Anyway, um, the last time I saw my mom, she caught her boyfriends having a three-way little rendezvous, meaning we caught my mom's boyfriend having a relationship with two other girls, red-handed. Birdie, now's not the time. And it was devastating. It was so devastating. I don't know if anyone has been cheated on. I've been cheated on, and it sucks balls. But just to see her boyfriend, and it was heartbreaking. It was heartbreaking to see my mom cry. I don't like seeing people cry. but just witnessing my mom so just distraught, and it was sad. And I got angry because I told my mom, "Mom, okay, because this is the first time we've ever caught him red-handed. We saw text messages and we've seen pictures, but of course, if you've ever been with a cheater, they deny it, and then they try to gaslight you, and, this time, proof was in the pudding!" And, my mom went back to him, and I was just so angry at her. And I just realized, I think it's just a cycle. And part of this mirror work, part of me doing this leadership program, I had to do a lot of internal work, a lot of forgiveness, not just for my mom, for myself, for the man who did that much harm to my mom and myself, and to him. I mean, I'm pretty sure it doesn't feel good at the end of the night when you lay your head down knowing you just beat your wife like a rag doll. And anyway, so yesterday we were at Trader Joe's and I saw like all the happy Mother Day balloons and flowers. And I was like, oh, what I would give to have a beautiful relationship with my mom. Truly. It would be so just rewarding to like call my mom, like, hey mom, how are you? And I was watching an episode of Will and Grace last night. Ironically, it was about moms. It was about when I can't remember his name. There's Will and there's the other guy. Fuck, I can't think of his name. But the point of the matter is, they were having Thanksgiving dinner, and Will and Grace and Karen were like, "Okay, are you gonna tell your mom that you're gay?" And I like to say the word, I don't know, likes the opposite sex, which is fine here. You love who you love, beautiful Rattle Patch Kids. And anyway, it was just really nice to just witness and see what is his name? Is it well, I can't think of his name. But if you've seen the show, if you've seen this episode, maybe this rings a bell. But the point of the matter is to have that bond with the mom, and he told his mom that he was gay, and it was just really nice to reflect and just to witness that. I thought it was so beautiful to have that type of relationship with any parent, but especially with the moms because tomorrow is Mother's Day. And happy Mother's Day to all the moms. And I was like, wow, I would love to have a relationship like that. Unfortunately, I don't. And that's okay, maybe one day. But I have fear around my mother, meaning fear that I'm gonna get a call from my sister and say, "Hey, mom's not alive anymore," because right now my mom's on the streets. She doesn't live in the same state as me, and I have a goal. I have a goal to visit her before it's too late. I have a goal to help her, but part of my journey is like I don't know how to help her. I've tried to help her for years and years and years. And last time I had connection with her, it was just abrupt. Like, I need money. I'm at the store and I need this and that. And it just didn't make sense of what she was asking. I have no problem helping my mom, but I have this guilty conscience is that she's using the money that I give her for something completely different. And that puts weight on my chest just thinking, God, I don't want the money that I'm giving her for her to do harm to her body because the body can only take so much until it just stops. So it was just, yeah. So I had to block my mom. I had to block her from my social media. I had to block her from my phone. So that's not easy. It's not easy setting a boundary. And so anyway, I get goosebumps. Look at my arm. Let me show you a picture of my mom. Yes, let me show myself a picture of my. Okay, this is my mom, and her favorite color was red. And there's my dad, and there's you guessed it, little old me. God, I was so happy that day. And then my life just turned upside down, just like that. But anyway, these are my parents. And I thought, so anyway, back to my story. So I was at Trader Joe's, and the cashier asked my partner, "Oh, you do anything for your mom?" And uh, so my mother-in-law, she doesn't celebrate Mother's Day. I mean, honestly, when you think about it, I believe every day should be a day of celebration. Celebrating your moms, your dads, your loved ones, because tomorrow is not promised. And it's just weird that we have like these holidays like Valentine's Day. And I feel like every day should be a day where you just not only your partner, but tell yourself, oh, I love myself. Because again, I think that energy just vibrates and spreads. But anyway, I was just slightly annoyed because like, "Hello? Do you not see me?" But I'm glad that she didn't ask, because now I'm thinking about it because I'm like, "Girl, do you have time? Do you have time to know to know about my mom?" And, I guess I had so much more anger towards my mom because she tucked me from my dad, and I didn't understand that, and I didn't understand how she would allow someone just to treat her like crap. But I was a kid then, you know? So anyway, we went to the dog park today, and it was interesting that I made eyes. This kid was walking, and he looked about 17, and I guess his mom was in the dog park. Cute doggies. It's so nice just to see all the different types of dogs and how they greet each other and how they smell each other's butts. But it's nice to see they don't judge one another. I mean, I saw a hairless chihuahua. I didn't even know that was a thing. And it was just nice just seeing how the dogs play and how they interact, and there's no judgment, there's no this and that. They just all got along. I loved it. And then it just brings me back to oneness. But anyway, this kid was walking past, and the mom was like, "Adrian, are you ready?" And Adrian is my mom's name, which I thought it was like, okay, this is interesting. And the lady, she was so cool. I've been seeing, what do you call them? What do you call those things? Humming. These really cool, really cool feather tattoo that was like rainbow. And like, I was like, oh my God, I love your tattoos. She said, "Oh, thank you." And then somehow we talked about cats because I would love to have a cat. I remember my mom loved animals. And I remember she went to go see my dad at work, and my mom had this long black like raincoat. And she comes home, and I'm home with my dad, and she comes home, and she's wearing this black coat, and you can just see like movement in the coat, and we're like, "What is that?" And so my dad's like, what did you do?" Because my dad used to build rockets for Aerojet. And so he had a trailer at his job, and I guess there was like a hole beneath the trailer, so a lot of stray cats would hang out and have kittens. So, oh God, my mom opens the coat. I kid you not, kittens. She had like 7 kittens in her coat. And I remember 3 of them stayed, the other ones kinda ran away. Taz, Bobby, and Rocky. They were like calico cats. And unfortunately, um, what happened to Taz? Taz ran away. He was my little baby. Bobby, it's so interesting, Bobby's tail got cut off. Got into my dad's hood of the car, and when my dad started the car, her tail got caught, and then I don't know what happened to the other cat. But anyway, I always grew up around animals, especially cats. Cats were my favorite. And I think I love cats because how their tail, they're just really cool and just vibey. Anyway, I was just talking to her about her kitties, and because my biggest fear is getting a cat. a couple fears because where we live, we literally saw a coyote. La- was it last night or night before? Just strutting down the road like nothing. God. And that's another of my biggest fear is that a coyote is going to snatch it. So it'll have to be an indoor kitty, which is fine, but I don't want our furniture to be all clawed and scratched. And so anyway, I was just talking to her about cats, and she said, "Well, you got to get like a cat post, and you got to get like a cat palace for them to play." I'm like, interesting, but I don't know. I know I like we've been going to the animal shop, the puppy shop, and like I said, I love animals, and I've been every time we go in, I have high hopes that we're gonna get a puppy, and we don't. We always come out empty-handed, and I'm like, "No." But honestly, if anyone knows, having a dog is a lot of responsibility, and I just feel like I do not have the energy right now. Not even the energy, just our house is not designed for another animal yet because, like I stated, we have coyotes. And so right now we're in the midst of getting our underbelly of our deck fenced and grassed. And once that happens, then maybe. And I really, really want a Pomeranian. Oh, I love Pomeranians. I had two Pomeranians. One name was Bear. He was so cute. He was black and gray. And I got rid of him when I had my first divorce. That was awful. And I just emotionally I couldn't do it because we got the dog together and I was like, oh, it just reminds me too much of my ex. And so I gave it to one of my good friends, Heron and Rachel, which is interesting. That's just a side note for myself, but they were in good hands, and actually Bear just passed about a year ago. Mm. And then my other dog, again, his name was Logan because Wolverine is my favorite X-Men character, and I named him Logan. And again, I moved in really quick with this person I was dating. I know I'm a hopeless romantic, and it was toxic, and I left. And I moved in with my dad, and I was just too busy to take care of him. So unfortunately, I had to get rid of him, and I gave him away to a good coworker of mine. And then he escaped. So I don't know what happened to Logan. But anyway, so yeah, so today I woke up and I was just really thinking about my mom and thinking about, okay, I definitely want to reach out to her tomorrow and just say Happy Mother's Day. And we'll see how that goes. Hopefully, she doesn't ask for money. Uh, and if she does, I'm just gonna have a boundary with her. I'm like, Mom, I don't have that right now, and I don't. Like, I'm like trying to build my career. And it's just I haven't been working and going back into the healthcare world, so money's tight. I'm on a budget, but she doesn't get that, and that's why the boundary has to be up. And I felt bad last time she asked for money. I just remember being emotional and just crying because I don't like telling people no, and I love just making people happy. And I feel like a part of me feels like I'm a disappointment to my mom because I can't just fly her out here and put her in rehab. But then again, also feel like that's not my responsibility. And so, yeah, that's just a lot that happens in my brain. So anyway, I pulled this card. I don't know if anyone does tarot card reading, but lately these cards have been like, for me personally, like like a message from spirit. And I just shuffled, and I'm not the best shuffler. And this card fell next to my foot, and I'm like, hmm, maybe I should read this card. Pathway beyond. Release what no longer serves you, and step into the unknown. I am open to new things. Now, that's interesting because we have been creating our own sound, which is Rattle X2, and releasing what no longer serves us, meaning using other artists' vibration, their sound. and stepping into the unknown. Well, I like to say the word slithering. Slithering into the unknown meaning, oh my God, how is this going to align with other people? Especially if it's not like booty popping music and break your back. And I also just thought I was thinking about Michael Jackson a lot, how his music's not, booty popping, and I mean he has some good songs, but it's not like talking about the kitty cat or, drugs. Like I feel like his music is so universal. And that's the goal here with Rattle X2 is to create sound that almost any soul can align with. And opening up to new things, which creating our own sound is new. I never thought in a million years I would be creating our own sound through my inner child, Rattleby. And it is scary. But it's also very rewarding. I was playing some of our vibration because you're part of this, Rattle Patch Kids, believe it or not, you are part of this. And I was just listening to it in the Jeep, and I was like, oh, hell yeah, baby. I'm shaky, shaky. And my partner was like, "Oh wow, this is really good, and you're doing it." I'm like, "Yeah, wow, I really am. We are doing it." And also, having chat off, and I think that was hard for me because I love helping people. Like I'm in healthcare, but also believe you don't have to be in healthcare to be able to help someone. Holding the door for someone is helping them. Or something even smaller is saying good morning or have a beautiful day. That's helping someone. Like because you don't know what they're going through. Quick story for myself. Last was it 2 years ago? It was around Christmas time, and I just love being energetic through expression. And I went to the gym and I wore this Santa suit. Matter of fact, when you look at that, I wore this to the gym. I kid you not. And of course, my partner's like, "You're gonna wear that?" And I'm like, "Yeah, it's the freaking holidays." And so anyway, I we get to the gym, and then this random beautiful soul comes up to us. And he says, "Wow, I really like your jacket. Thank you for bringing out the joy." I'm like, "Aw." He's like, "Yeah, I lost my wife in November. She just passed." I'm like, "Oh God." And he's like, "Your jacket just made me smile." You see, that's why I love just being myself. Because you never know how your energy is going to brighten someone's day, right? And so I wore this jacket, and his name was John. That's interesting. John's name's been coming up a lot. Huh. Anyway, I wore and I felt so good. I was like, "Oh my God." It gave me like goosebumps and it made me feel like, wow, I'm really glad I wore this jacket because I can't imagine losing a spouse. I mean, fuck, losing my dad was hard enough, but to lose your soulmate, ugh. So I'm glad that wearing this Santa jacket, which is interesting because Santa is all about imagination. Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, doing the gingerbread houses, putting up the lights and decorating the stockings and telling your kids about Santa. Go to sleep, because Santa's going to eat the cookie and drink the milk. You better be a good boy. Or taking your kids to sit on Santa's lap. What do we call that? Oh, I know. Imagination, inner child play. And that is what we do here in this space. Rattlebones, Rattlebee, imagination, allowing our inner child, but our superhero version, right? Not Spider-Man version, not Batman version, Power Rangers, and so forth. The Avengers, Captain America, Black Panther, rest in peace. The list goes on. Here, we rebirth our own superhero. And why do we say rebirth? Because I believe it's already internal. It's already in your DNA, you beautiful soul. And here, We have these beautiful rattle bottles, yeah? And this is what activates the inner child, superhero. Almost like if anyone remembers Power Rangers when they go, "It's morphin' time!" And they transform. But when we drink these Rattle XR bottles, we're not chasing with Fireball or tequila or vodka. No, just water. And my goal, I don't know how, but my goal is I'll just put it in the universe. My goal, and here, you've probably seen these colors, the pink and blue, but you probably also seen them at baby showers. Yeah, the masculine for the baby blue, and then we have the pink for the feminine. And did you know when you mix these two colors together, you get white, which is our whole philosophy here. Oneness, bone. I didn't know that until I did more research. Bone, skull, that's what we are underneath this beautiful skin, right? So yeah, and it's just water that we drink. I know that sounds boring, but hate to break it to you. Get it? Break it to you. That's what the human body is actually made of. I think 60 to 70% water, not caffeine, not booze, not beer, water. But anyway, back to my goal. Like, wouldn't it be cool to make water more accessible, more cool for people to drink? Um, Example, like, what if we made like blueberry water or like the taste of like Jolly Rancher taste, you know? And you can like shake it up, but eventually I want to get rid of the nipple and put like a rattler. Wouldn't that be cool? And you can have like all these different flavors you want to drink because if we can make all these different flavors with alcohol, why can't we do it with water and make it healthy for the human body, right? Maybe, just maybe, that can do something so different internally to your body. You're not putting poison down your body. And a little backstory, my dad was an alcoholic. I don't know if there's anyone that knows an alcoholic or maybe you left an alcoholic. My aunt was telling me when we had lunch is that her ex was an alcoholic and she left him. So anyway, that's my little spill. That's my little check-in. Thank you for the thumbs up. I'm going to now take this off. It's freaking hot. My God. Get in the cold plunge and enjoy my Saturday. So thank you for being here. Thank you for witnessing. And if you vibe, you already know. Subscribe and become part of this family. Yeah.